Hey, my friends, this is Lynn Smargis with Write For You, the content creation company that you will absolutely love working with. So today I'm going to talk about what you want to look for when you are hiring a ghostwriter, because a lot of people ask me many different questions. So today you're going to get the 101 on questions you should ask when you're looking to hire a ghostwriter. So the first question you want to ask a person is, have they done any ghostwriting? So find out if they have done ghostwriting and what type of ghostwriting have they done? Have they done ghostwriting for nonfiction, for fiction, for like novels? So what type of ghostwriting do they do? Because usually ghostwriters will specialize in a particular genre. So for me, I specialize in nonfiction. So I've done work with real estate, interior design, gluten-free, lifestyle and travel, and some other different topics as well. So for me, it's nonfiction. So you want to get a ghostwriter that has worked in your genre before. So that is tip number one. Find a ghostwriter who works in your genre or specializes in the genre that you are going to be writing your book in. All right, tip number two on questions to ask a ghostwriter. What is their native language? So you want to hire somebody that speaks your native language or that your book is going to be written in. So if I'm writing a book in Spanish, I want to pick a ghostwriter whose native language is Spanish. And the reason why you want to do this is because there are certain cultural contexts that people in the same language will understand that outside might not understand. So I live in Utah, so there are even little subdialects in Utah that people would understand that they would not catch if they were outside of Utah. So if I was writing a book specifically for an audience that was built in Utah, I would want to make sure that I picked a ghostwriter who understood Utah culture, because Utah culture is a little bit different than the culture in the rest of the United States. So that is another tip for you. So make sure that you are choosing a ghostwriter that is in your native language, that understands the context of what you are saying in your language that you want your book written in. So whatever language you want your book written in, that is the native language you want for your ghostwriter. So for example, if somebody came to me and they said, hey, I have this book, I want to write it in Spanish, I would, even though I know Spanish, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable writing for them because that's not my native language and I'm going to miss a lot of context words. So make sure you choose somebody that speaks your native language, whatever language book you want written in. So that's tip number two. Tip number three is when you're talking to the person, do you feel a rapport with them? Don't ever hire a ghostwriter you have not spoken to. And this is the reason why. You will be working with months, maybe over a year with this person. So you want to make sure you get along with them. You want to make sure you click, that you share the same values, and that you share a lot of the same like inspirational thoughts, that this person is passionate about your project. So you don't want to pick somebody and like find out that they're not really into your book or they're into your subject or whatever it is. So keep that in mind, that when you pick a person, my tip number three is make sure you talk to them first over a Zoom conference. Make sure it's face-to-face. Do not just go for audio because you want to see their facial expressions, their body expressions. Are they really and truly interested in your project, or are they just looking for a job? So that's a huge difference in ghostwriting and going the long route. So that goes into number four is your ghostwriter needs to be prepared for the long haul. So if the ghostwriter says, hey, we can get your book done in 90 days, that's fine. Ask them what their plan is for that. Most of the time, you're going to be working with a ghostwriter from 6 to 12 months. That's an average. Some people can get it done faster. Some people take a little bit longer. There's so many variables that play into that. It's not just like, how much you can get done. Some people have take a longer time to come up with content than others. It's just part of some people's skill set. So for me, my strengths are coming up with ideas and writing content rather quickly. So I can get done in a very efficient manner when I do ghostwriting for other people. So you want to make sure that you are talking to these people ahead of time and making sure that they are passionate about your project and that you really click with them, because you're going to have a long-term working relationship with this person. And you definitely do not want to hire anybody who you're having any hesitations with. So if there's any red flags that go up when you're interviewing this person, remember, interview them face to face, then definitely do not hire that person as a ghostwriter. All right, next tip number 5 is you want to make sure that you have a plan laid out. So if this person is very wishy-washy and can't give you kind of like a date, time idea. So for example, when I work with my clients, I ask them like what they need, what they're looking for. Sometimes it's just book editing. Sometimes it's writing a whole book starting from scratch with the idea. So it's a very different thing. So I always tell people, part of the length of how long you take to write your book, actually a major part of it is how fast my clients get back to me. So if you're a client and you're my ghostwriter client and you get done your homework really quickly and we meet on a regular basis, then I can get your book done very quickly. So, but if you're somebody who puts it off for a couple months, comes back to it, puts it off for a couple months, comes back to it, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But you definitely need to know you're not going to get your book finished as quickly as you'd like it to if you keep putting off and coming back to certain things. So if you get everything done, like when I need you to do it, and you're my ghostwriting client, then I can definitely get your book done in 90 days or less. But if you're really hesitant about doing things, or you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to publish this, I don't know if I want to write this, and you're just on the fence about a lot of things and you have a hard time making a decision, then your book will take longer to create just because of those time lapses in between, because those little time lapses really add up at the end. But I can give people a general kind of overview on how long a book is going to take from start to finish, depending on where they're already at in the book, how long they want the book to be, if they are already providing the content and I'm taking that and making that into chapters. So it depends on a lot of different variables. All right. Next thing, I believe we're on tip number 6, is repurpose your content. So your ghostwriter should be willing to work with your content that you have and repurpose it for your book. Now, they may have to rewrite it. So if you have a bunch of blog posts that you want to integrate into your book, as long as they fit into your subject matter. So you don't want to take the blog post and like force it into the book and make a chapter just because you have that content. That will not work out at all. But say you have a chapter on real estate investment and you have a whole blog on the 10 best cities to invest in real estate, then that would be a great addition to that chapter, because that definitely falls under the real estate investment topic. So as long as your blogs or whatever content you have, it might be from your podcast, it might be from articles you've written in magazines, whatever the content is, your ghostwriter should be willing to work and add that content to your book, as long as that content does fit your book content. It's not the other way around. It's not you're making your book to fit your blog content. You need to take the other content you have and repurpose it in a chapter that already fits that context or content. So make sure that your ghostwriter is willing to work with content you already have. Now, they may have to rewrite it and it might sound a little bit different, and it's definitely should be polished and grammar like corrected. So just keep that in mind, that they can work with your information that you currently have. So those are the things you want to ask a ghostwriter. Make sure you definitely get an interview with them, find out the length of time, like ask what their native language is, what types of books they've already written. All of these things are really, really important to ensuring that whatever ghostwriter you choose is going to work with you really well and is going to get your work done on time. You can also ask them for references with clients. So even if they don't have a book on their website that they published because their clients don't want them to put their book as their work sample because it is a ghostwriting client, you can always ask for references. Say like, hey, can I get an email? Can you email or introduce me to one of your clients so I can get a reference? If they will not give you any references, then I feel like that's also a big red flag. So like I would be glad to provide my new prospective clients with 1 or 2 references that they can just email or call and say like, hey, what's your experience with Lynn? How did you like ghostwriting a book with her? So they can share their experience with them. And so they can get a feel of if I would be a good fit for them. So if you are looking for a ghostwriter, or you have any more questions about ghostwriting, I would be happy to help you with that. You can click on my complimentary 15-minute chat down below this video and grab a time on my calendar. I do complimentary 15 minutes, no charge, and we can find out if we're a good fit or if you have any other questions about ghostwriting. I would be happy to answer that in my 15-minute complimentary consult. All right, my friends, I hope you're having an awesome day. And remember to keep writing that content and putting yourself out there.